All right, let's dive into something pretty powerful today. We're going to explore this idea of moving from what we typically think of as prayer into a totally different realm called utterance. And you'll see it's all about shifting from asking for something to actually commanding it.
So the source material just drops this bomb of a question on us right away. We all pray for a miracle, right? A breakthrough. But what if we've got the dynamic all wrong? What if, instead of just asking and hoping, you're actually supposed to command that miracle into existence?
And that question, well, that's what leads us right into our first big idea here. To really get this, we have to look past our normal understanding of prayer and step into what the source calls the realm of utterance. Okay, so check this out. This slide lays out the difference so clearly. On the left, you've got prayer, asking, requesting, hoping. It's a posture of, asking for help. But then you look over at utterance on the right, and wow, it's a complete flip. It's about declaring, commanding, even creating. It's moving from a passive stance to a really active, authoritative one. So let's lock in a solid definition here. Utterance is about declaring deliverance. It's speaking with divine authority to command change. See the difference? It's not just asking for a change to happen. It's using your words to actually cause the change. Now, this whole idea of commanding change is a big one, right? It immediately makes you think, okay, but where does that kind of authority even come from? Well, our next section gets right into the foundation for this kind of power. This quote is really the cornerstone of the whole argument. The idea is that the number one proof of divinity isn't prayer, it's speech. I mean, it makes sense, right? God doesn't need to ask for things. His word is the power that creates. And this source points us right back to the beginning, to Genesis, as the ultimate model for this. God spoke into nothing, and boom, the universe happened. The argument then is that the same creative power, the ability to speak things into being, has actually been given to believers. And this really brings it home. Just take a second and think about your own life, your health, your job, a relationship. Are there situations that you've just given up on, that you've basically written off as dead? Well, this is a challenge to rethink that, to start speaking life and possibility back into those very things. So, if this authority is real, what does it actually include? What are the tools? This brings us to our next section, which is all about what the source calls your heavenly inheritance, the stuff you apparently already own. This source literally calls this your heavenly toolkit. And look at what's in it. Co-heirship with Christ, the keys to the kingdom, commanding angelic help, the power to bind and loose. These aren't just presented as nice ideas, they're framed as real, spiritual tools that are at your disposal. 100%. Let that number sink in. What does it mean? It's your ownership stake. The source makes this incredible point. You are not a renter in heaven just hoping to get by. No, you're a landlord. You have the keys. You have full ownership. And this is why it matters so much. This heavenly inheritance, all this spiritual wealth, it's not just being saved for later. It's meant to be used now, to support and completely transform your life on earth. The problem is, many people are living in a kind of spiritual poverty because they just don't realize the treasures they have access to. Okay, so you have this incredible toolkit, but how do you actually learn to use it? The source says it's not enough to just read about it. The key, as we're about to see, is something called the power of proximity. This is such a critical distinction. The source uses the example of Jesus and his disciples. He didn't sit them down in a classroom and teach them the theory of prayer. No, he modeled utterance by taking them with him. They learned by being close to him and seeing it happen. So you can kind of see the path here, right? It's like a progression. Reading about it is level 1. Being taught about it is level 2. But the final, most important step, where the real power transfer happens, is through proximity. It's experiencing it firsthand by being around someone who is already doing it. And to make this whole power transfer idea really click, the source uses that classic biblical story of Elisha and Elijah. Elijah didn't just get the power. He had to be there to pick up Elijah's mantle. The same principle, it's argued, applies today. To walk in utterance, you need that connection to a mentor who's already living it. All right, let's pull all these threads together. This final section is the call to action. It's where the rubber meets the road, how you can actually start applying these principles to begin commanding your reality. We circle right back to the instructions Jesus gave. And the point here is crucial. He didn't say, go and politely ask sickness to leave. He gave a command, heal the sick, raise the dead. It was a direct order. The expectation is that believers operate from that exact same place of authority. So here's the practical game plan, broken down into a 3-step progression. You don't throw prayer away. That's where you start. That's how you connect. But from there, you move to utterance to command the change you need. And then you take action to see it manifest. It's a complete cycle. And this is the big, powerful takeaway. The miracle you've been waiting for isn't some far-off thing you have to chase. It's right here. It's waiting to be released by the words you speak. The source argues this is a core reason for the sacrifice of Christ, to give you this authority. So we end right back where we started, with a question. But this time, it's a little different. It's not about what you're going to pray for. It's about what you are going to declare. If the miracle really is on your tongue, what change are you going to command into existence in your life, starting today?